Witam na kanale Czaban robi raban. To tu przez ostatni rok informuję o nadal trwającym kryzysie humanitarnym na pograniczu polsko-białoruskim. Możesz mnie wesprzeć i dołączyć do grona moich patronów na stronie patronite.pl/Czaban robi raban. Dziękuję tym, którzy już to zrobili, a są to Magdalena Klemensowicz, Magda Czarkowska, Wiesława Grecka, Piotr Nagłowski, Anna Mrowiec, Marta Wieszczycka i Ewa Wdowiak. Dziękuję też Joannie Klimowicz za wsparcie merytoryczne i agencji Video Brothers za pomoc w rozwijaniu mojego kanału. Będę wdzięczny za każdą subskrypcję, polubienie czy komentarz. To miejsce, które wskazywało lokalizację. Policja tu przeczesywała tutaj las. Nikogo nie było, żadnego śladu.
Confirmed that your mother is in a closed camp in Bialystok, and the closed camp is probably next to the hospital.
We are going where is closed camp. Ja nazywam się Piotr Czaban. Tutaj jest chłopak, który przyjechał sprawdzić, czy być może jego mamy nie macie u siebie w ośrodku, czy może nie była gdzieś zatrzymana przy granicy przez Straż Graniczną. A szuka mamy o imieniu Mona Issa Hussein. Straż Graniczna ma obowiązek udzielić odpowiedzi na pytanie, czy była ta kobieta w rękach Straży Granicznej, czy nie. To jutro od której godziny tutaj na recepcji można być? 7:45.
My name is Rawan. I'm 27 years old, from Syria, but living in Germany since 6.5 years, 6 years. I'm looking for my mom. She's been missing for like a month and a week. She crossed from Belarus to Poland illegally. Last time, her last known location is on the Polish border, like 200 meters inside the Poland, and that's the last known location of her. And since then, we haven't seen her or heard anything from her. We asked the police and border guard, but they couldn't tell us anything. So I'm just here trying to ask everyone if they know anything about her.
When was last contact with your mom?
26 Juni. She talked with my sister. Probably like that she's gonna try soon to cross the border, but she's not sure yet if today or tomorrow. And just talked about how it will be, how to prepare. She bought some water and some essential food for the trip, and that's probably it. And her trip took like 2 to 3 days, as some people told us who were with her. Like they were walking and stopping, and but then at one point she couldn't walk anymore. She stopped, and the group continued walking. She had some high blood pressure. She took some pills for that, but other than that, she was healthy. She was 55 years old, something like that. So, typical old woman. Have some typical old people problem, high blood pressure and stuff like that. She was a little bit overweight too, so not really so fit. But again, she didn't know, because she was told she only going to walk 2 kilometers. A group, it was a mix between people from Syria and Yemen, and there were some Africans. At the beginning, they helped my mom, like they would carry her bag and help her. But at some point, they got tired too, because of the sun and the long trip. So they couldn't help her anymore, and so she stayed. On the early morning of the 27th of Juni, they got out and the taxi came and picked them up and went to the border.
From Minsk?
From Minsk.
From Minsk.
It was their second try. The first try they got caught and sent back, and this was the second try. We tried at first. We went to a lawyer and we went to the German government, say like we are three brothers here, we all working full time, like open work contracts, and we make good money. We told them that we will pay for her health care, food, place to sleep, everything. We just want to have her here. They said no, we cannot give you any visas. And they said only if your mom is by herself and she's really sick. And we said no, my sister is with her. She said no, your sister is an adult, she can take care of your mom. Yeah, but it's not like here in Europe. Over there, sister and mom living by themselves, it's not easy to manage. So we waited like a year and it didn't work. So they said like, I cannot stay here anymore. You have to come, even if it's illegally. It was supposed to be like through an airport, from an airport to an airport. It didn't work, so they had to take this road. I told her not to go because it's dangerous, especially that my sister didn't get her visa. They were supposed to come together, but she didn't get her visa and said, no, by yourself you don't go. And she said like, no, it's 11 of uni and only have like 1 week left in my visa. If it's go away, then I will be stuck here. I must go. And I kept saying no. She said no, I will go. And then she went.
And you have to pay for smuggler, yes?
Yes.
Smuggler take money already?
Yeah.
Can we say price?
16,000.
And what smuggler said about your mom?
He says like he knows as much as us. He says he can't do anything. I don't have people in Poland. You say like, how do you not have people in Poland? You are a smuggler. He said like, I deal with other people and these people have people in Poland. I said, can you ask him to send and ask for it? They say, smugglers go and ask about your mother. They will know he's a smuggler and they will beat him or put him in jail. So he doesn't do much. Well, we first contacted the smuggler. We asked like where she is, and he told her everything. Like she got separated from the group because she couldn't walk anymore. So we said like give us anything. My brother started to look on the internet for like Red Cross and NGOs, organizations that helps refugees. We contacted them all in some organizations, and they started to help us, like give us numbers of people who can help, people who deal with the refugees and help them, journalists, police stations, translators, and started contacting everyone. I thought like if I came here personally because a woman from my organization tried to file a missing person report, but they didn't take it. Probably because she's not a direct relative. So I thought, and the lawyer didn't help. We hired a lawyer. He said, I can't help, like you can't file a report. I didn't believe him, so I thought to come here myself and see. I got here, I found a translator for an organization. She helped me and we filed a missing person report. At the beginning he didn't take it, but then she kept insisting and talked to him, no, you must take it. And they said, yeah, okay. We went to see a detective and he took the report and he said it will be generalized all over the country. So an official report maybe put some pressure on whoever has her, if she got caught, to put out some information. Maybe ask the border guards myself, because they don't tell anyone unless it's a direct relative. So I was hoping to get some information, maybe. I tried to go to Belarus. I went to the embassy in Berlin and they told me you can't go without a visa. There was a card like you can go 5 days without a visa, but he told me no, you can't. I said, okay, how can I get visa? He said, only if someone in Belarus invites you.
Can you say about your mom? Who she is?
She's a teacher, she's retired. She was a fourth class teacher, teaching kids, like very nice, loving woman. She really took good care of us. She's really kind-hearted, like she trusts people easily. She's kind. So I don't think like she was meant for this trip, but she kept insisting on it. So I don't know. That's what happened. We sold our house. We had an apartment in our town. She sold it, and with the money she decided to give it to the smuggler and come to here.
When you saw your mom last time?
8 years ago. 8 years ago. I was 2013, end of 2013, something like that. Well, at first I spent like 2 years in Turkey trying to get to here. It wasn't easy. So after 2 years I got here and got to Germany, and then stayed to get my documents, and then started working on the language, learning the language, and then started working. And
your travel was so dangerous too.
Yeah. It's really dangerous because it's one of those trips you either die or you make it, because it's in the water. So if you make it, you make it, you're lucky. If you don't, then you drown. There's no one to help you. We had some life jackets on. I threw mine because I knew that no help can come. And the captain, when he saw my friend wearing his jacket, he told him, like, why are you wearing this life-saving jacket? He said, in case the ship drowned, he said, in case the ship drowns, the nearest rescue crew is like 6 to 8 hours away. The life jacket can't keep you this long on the water. So it was luckily I made it.
How old you was in this time?
21, 22, something like that.
Now you are?
I'm 27.
27. Why people still running from Syria?
Because honestly, you cannot live there anymore. It's war. It's always if there isn't war, there is always the threat of war. There's always like sanctions. The living cost is too much high. Like the same price for food over here, you must pay over there too. Like if you buy like tomatoes for €2 over here, you have to pay €2 over there too. But the paycheck over here is high. Over there you get like paycheck for 300, 200 at maximum. So it's not really bearable. It's like a wild west. Only smugglers and militias and military and people like this can live there because they have power and money. But the normal people cannot live there. They have no power, no work, no money, no jobs, nothing.
Did you see war in Syria?
The beginning of it. The first beginning of it. It was end of 2013, first of 2014. It wasn't much in our area. Any war didn't happen, but it was near us, like 60 kilometers from us. A war happened. Al Qaeda's and ISIS tried to attack those areas. Even my brother got kidnapped by ISIS once, and luckily he got released in hostage exchange. Since then, like, we decided to go.
So, young people, they have not see future in Syria?
No, because either you must go to the military and fight, kill or be killed, or if you stay, even if you like somehow manage to not go to the military and you stay, you can't find a job. and this new generation has been destroyed because the schools are closed. Nobody goes to school like before. They all learn at home. So learning at home is not that good like in school. So probably the next 2 generations will be really like uneducated people because they didn't go to school properly.
Are you happy now in that Germany when you did it?
When I arrived there,
Yes.
yeah, I was happy. I was finally made it. Like I have safe place. I can work here. I can learn here. I have a healthcare, like a good system. But I was wishing like my whole family was here, but it wasn't possible. So it was good, but something was missing.
But you know, lots of people in Europe, in Poland, for example, they're afraid. Migrants, they didn't know so much about Syrians, for example. They think every Muslims they are terrorists. What do you can say about it?
People fear what they don't, but what even an advice like go out, travel, meet people, talk to people, and you will realize like that all people are good. There's always bad people in every society, every country. So, but most people are nice, and if you even look at the statistics and everything, you'll see like the people who are most damaged by terrorists are Muslims, because they do the most horrible things in those countries. Like if a bombing happens here, 100 bombs happen over there. So I do security job, and I do another like a mini job on the side. It's like delivering drinks, just like to get more money, cash on the side.
And how your brothers?
They live together near Berlin. They work, one work in Amazon, and the other one work with Hermes. It's a package delivering company, like DHL. And they live a normal life, just like me, like go to work, come home every day.
How your life was changed when your mom was lost?
Basically, you lose concentration and motivation for everything else. You want to concentrate only on this problem. So just going to work, you go like unwillingly. You just don't have like motivation. And, just in the mood to work or do anything, not just work, train. Like I have stopped going to the gym, going out, everything. Nothing becomes interesting anymore. You just want to like solve this problem and find an answer. The worst case scenario is not knowing anything. Like let's say hopefully not, if she's dead and we find out she's dead, okay, we know now what happened. She died, her destiny, like what can we do? But if not knowing anything is even worse, because you know she's probably lost, but you still every day you still have that small chance that she might be there. So you keep attached to this. You can't get over it. Life doesn't go on. You keep stuck to this problem. Yes, please. If anyone can help, or know anyone who can help, I would really appreciate it if they do get any information about her. It would be really helpful. Just anything, not necessarily like get her out or anything, just to know information where she is and if she is okay. That would be enough. The rest, we can work it out, wait till the procedures go on. If she is caught, like if they let her go or send her back. We just want to know right now where she is and if she is okay. So if anyone can help us, that would be really nice.
kiedykolwiek Mouna Issa Hussein była zatrzymana przez Straż Graniczną. Dzisiaj wróciliśmy z rana, no i dostaliśmy odpowiedź taką, że nie była ewidencjonowana przez Straż Graniczną. Gdy zapytałem, czy Straż Graniczna w ogóle wpisuje dane tych osób, które są później wyrzucane, wywożone na Białoruś, nie dostałem odpowiedzi, ale nieoficjalnie też usłyszałem, że trafiają się takie sytuacje, gdy nie ma żadnego śladu po tych osobach, które były na terenie Polski, a później przez Straż Graniczną zostały wyrzucone.
I was hoping to get some answers, maybe hear anything, but still the same, you don't know anything yet. Hopefully in the future we hear something near from anyone, a lawyer or organization. All I can do now is just hope and wait.
W tym momencie Rawan dzwoni do swojej mamy. Dzwoni na numer białoruski, numer, który był używany przez mamę. Mama zaginęła ponad miesiąc temu, a my słyszymy połączenie. Tylko nikt nie odbiera. Ten numer też trafił do polskiej policji i miejmy nadzieję, że policja sprawdzi, czy właśnie ten numer gdzieś logował się na terenie Polski. No to jest chyba jedyna szansa na to, by sprawdzić rzeczywistą lokalizację, gdzie znajduje się osoba, przy której jest ten numer telefonu, aparat telefoniczny z tym numerem.
If it rings, then means someone is charging her phone, or maybe someone found the phone and took it. But if someone find the phone and take it, steal it, they throw the SIM card away.
Numer w tej chwili nie odpowiada. Prosimy spróbować później.
How many times you call to your mom?
Every 2 days.
Przepraszamy, wybrany numer w tej chwili nie odpowiada. Prosimy.